Alright, Caroline, we're taking a look at your video from here the other day, and I'm going to go ahead and press play here. And what we really noticed right off the bat here, I'm going to slow it completely down. And what we've really noticed is that essentially our stance and our load are pretty good right now. I mean, we're doing really well on that part. But what happens is that we lose ourselves once we get to our attack position, and we find that our attack position again is our load and our stride together, and it's basically the place that we want to be in right before we initiate the rest of our swing. What we're finding is that we're not getting to that attack position quite well enough, where our body's actually out of sync, and what we're seeing is that our elbow's collapsing early. So when I come to an attack position, we clearly see right here that the elbow's already working down. We've already lost the bat.
Carolyn, once that happens, what really needs to happen is at some point that elbow should start driving forward with that front elbow and working to the front side. But what happens is your whole back side's collapsing, which means we're not generating any force going forward.
And what we'll kind of do here is we'll take Manny Ramirez on the right hand side. We'll go ahead and show what a good attacking position looks like. Now the plus on our side is that our whole body is coming forward, which essentially that's what we want to do. We do want to generate our whole body in order to use it in an entire swing. The problem is that, like Shane just touched base on, we see this back elbow sneak down here along with bringing the barrel down, and nothing gets generated right here on the front, and that's a big issue right there.
You notice once that back elbow is going down, we're trying to get that body going forward, but what happens is once you're going down, that backside's collapsing, and as you notice, you're starting to lock up that front side already, and that back hip is not generating going forward at all. So our bat path is actually coming from the back side and not getting to the front, where that elbow is just dipping in there. And as you can see right there, that back elbow is actually leading through your swing, whereas your front elbow is still sitting in the same spot as it started. So in essence, what's going to happen is you're going to extend early and you're going to cut off your swing right as you get right here. Now watch where your hands go. You have no force going, and you notice the bat has an upward movement, which means you've generated no force coming through it because we've cut it off completely, and we're actually extending, going to the left instead of out in front of us.
And Shane's right on that point, that our bat is working up after we make contact. Now, it's not because we're making our bat go up, like you said, it's just because we don't have enough force generated, therefore the force of the ball is actually going to make our bat go up. And what we notice, because there's no force generated, that means that our bat from the get-go is deaccelerating through the zone, when in essence we want it to accelerate through the zone. And when this elbow, this back elbow right here, gets ahead of the hands, we find that the bat a lot of the times, or I say a lot of times, all the time, it's just known fact that it automatically deaccelerates to the zone. Now we're going to go over and look at Manny Ramirez here. We're going to notice what happens with his hands. Back elbow starts coming down, and the lead elbow starts going forward. So he's able to get those hands out front of that elbow right there. When he does that, he maintains that acceleration to the zone all the way through. And that's really something that needs to be worked on, but it all comes from the get-go. We have to absolutely get to our attack position at this point in the game. Because if we don't get here, then it doesn't matter about working on anything else, because nothing will be consistent in our swing until we get to this point consistently. Because from right here, as we can see, bat barrel's already starting down, so obviously there's nowhere for the bat barrel to go. The elbow's already covered plenty of ground, that distance in between our body compared to over here, so there's nowhere else for us to go. So that's really the number one issue that we need to work on from here on out, and as soon as you can get consistent with that, the rest of your swing can get consistent also.